Is it ever safe to keep a dingo as a pet?
They're a wild animal. And even though there's a lot of people breeding them and trying to domesticate them, they're still a wild animal. Their behaviour is unpredictable. And even though I've been living with them for about 20 years and I've got to live with a stack of wild dingoes now, you can never 100% predict what they're going to do. Domestic pet? No, we've got too many problems. I've been involved in 2 dingo fights and I ended up being hospitalised too for about 3 days. End up being a threat to them or just be in the wrong place at the wrong time and get bitten or hurt. A thing happened in Victoria a few years ago. People there had, I think it was about 4 dingoes in their backyard, dug a hole under the fence, got into next door neighbour and a lady there was a nurse. She had a little small dog. And they went there and started ripping this thing to pieces. So she went there and tried to rescue a little puppy, as you do. She got involved with this fight with these 4 dingoes. She sustained 61 bites and she was in hospital for quite some time. The Victorian government had to step in then because it all went into the media like what's happening now. Even though in Victoria you did have to have a permit to have a dingo, no one really followed up to make sure that your property was secure and that your dingo couldn't escape. So the government had to step in then, and then all of us had our properties or homes investigated, secure or not, and if they weren't, we were instructed to put up high fencing or mesh on the ground or concrete or anything to stop them from digging out. About 20 years ago, I knew 2 men, they were going to have their dingoes confiscated and killed by local council. They went and approached the Minister for Agriculture at the time. They took their dingoes with them into Parliament or wherever his office was. And the Minister was quite surprised how friendly the dingoes were. So virtually overnight, the dingoes were taken off the whatever list they were on and then put under the Companion Animal Act, and therefore classified as dogs and anyone can own them.
Should they be banned as pets?
Is a zebra or horse? Is an emu an ostrich? A dingo's not a dog. The people aren't educated enough who are taking on the responsibility of these dingoes. Some of them are wild pups. Unfortunately, in New South Wales, anyone can own a dingo and they're being homed quite regularly. Some have been rehomed before, and dingoes don't take good to rehoming. To take on you've got the animal experts like Steve Austin, you've got vets like Rob Zammit, they've all come out and said, look, this is a bad idea. The sad things that are going to happen if dingoes have been placed into the wrong hands.
And from Crossroads Dingo Rescue. We come out as Crossroads in 2013. I was caring for wildlife, but there wasn't a lot of information on dingoes. If you understand, you have the most amazing relationship. If you can get beyond the external part of that dingo and get deeper into it, then you see just how complex but how amazing they are. These animals are forced into pit fighting. I don't want that. And so I'm more protective because they are being used for pit fighting. So you put them up, and why, I don't know, because the dingo is not an aggressive fighting dog. He's not aggressive. He won't fight unless it's for his life, which in that situation I suppose he would. But up against a pit bull or another fighting animal, their knowledge, their history, it comes to you. They are happy to share their knowledge to you if you open that door and get past yourself. There's a woman that openly boasts that she uses her pit bulls to pull down dingoes, takes them out. She's trained them. So what dingoes have had to suffer for her training these pit bulls to get out there and pull them apart? That's sport to them. You look at that animal. It's not about human or dingo or dog, person. They're different. It's deep, and I cannot explain that. No way. These bloody bow and arrows, you know, that's another dastardly way of controlling them. Gut shooting them and taking pictures of them with their stomach hanging out and them trying to drag themselves along. And there's no control over that cruelty, none at all. discarded and sold as pets, and how many of them are ending up on chains in small pens, and half the time they're not even looked at. It's just, oh, I've got a dingo out there. Mind you, there are a lot of good dingo people out there. There are a lot of good dingo people out there that idolise and respect, and they're good people. What the content is, what dingo content is in that. Like I said, it could look like a dingo and be 95% dog, or it could look like a dog and be high dingo. It's difficult to say. Stop the supply of food, the food source, as in mines. Idiots go and throw them a bone and he'll be back the next day, and then he's shot the day after because he's seen as an intrusive animal. The hybrids are barking, but the dingo, Darku, he's got that different sort of a bark. It's more of a, I don't know, just different to a dog, but they can vocalise, and vocalisation between them is pretty important. So, behaviour-wise, as I said, the hybrid, you know, I don't think I'd trust him as much as I do the pure. But again, it comes back to high-low content. Stop feeding them, leave them alone, and dilect a lot of these hybrids. The trouble is they're not finding out the DNA of these dingoes until they're dead. What's the point of that? Oh, shit, that was 100% dingo. Too bad. Try the next one. Stupid. That's not control, that's eradication. That's extermination. That's what that's about. Cute puppies, but they grow up to be dingoes. They're wild, inherently hardwired wild. And I don't think it's fair that they have to be forced into domestication, forced to act like a dog to be accepted. They're wild. Why should they conform when their right is to be wild? Leave them in the wild and fight for the wild ones while we've still got them, otherwise they're going to be gone. And all you will have is these effigies of dingoes, doona covers, lounge dingoes. Might make you feel good about yourself, but overall, the dingo's gone.